Hello, welcome to the Mark Janot Show, the cybersecurity show. Now, Rabbit is racing to be the phone of AI, and I'm going to break it down in this story. So without further ado, let's get right into it. We're going dark. Jesse Liu, sorry if I'm botching your name, the CEO and founder of an AI startup called Rabbit, says he doesn't want to replace your smartphone, at least not right away. His company's new gadget, a $199 standalone AI device called the R1, is so staggeringly ambitious that Liu seems to think he can't help but replace your phone at some point. Just not quite yet, right? The R1 looks like a little like a Playdate console or maybe a modernized version of one of those 90s era handheld TVs. It's a standalone gadget about half the size of an iPhone with a 2.88-inch touchscreen, a rotating camera for taking photos and videos, and a scroll wheel button you press to navigate around or talk to the device's built-in assistant. It has a 2.3 gigahertz MediaTek processor, 4 gigahertz of memory, and 128 gigabytes of storage, all inside a rounded body design in collaboration with the design firm Teenage Engineering. All Rabbit says about the battery is that it lasts all day. It spent a few minutes with the R1 after Rabbit's launch event, and it's an impressive piece of hardware. Only one device, Liu's, was actually functional, and even that one couldn't do much because of spotty hotel Wi-Fi. But R1 is surprisingly light and feels much nicer than it looks in pictures. Its buttons are clicky and satisfying, which is no surprise from Teenage Engineering, and the whole thing fits nicely in a grip, right? It's definitely a fingerprint magnet though. The software inside the R1 is the real story. Rabbit's operating system called Rabbit OS and the AI tech underneath rather than a ChatGPT-like large language model. Rabbit says Rabbit OS is based on a large action model, and the best way I can describe it is as a sort of universal controller for apps. We wanted to find a universal solution just like large language models, he says. Here's another statement. How can we find a universal solution to actually trigger our services, regardless of whether you're a website or an app or whatever platform or desktop? In spirit, it's an idea similar to Alexa or Google Assistant. Rabbit OS can control your music, order you a car, buy you groceries, send you messages, and more, all through a single interface. No balancing apps and logins, just ask for what you want and let the device deliver. The R1's on-screen interface will be a series of category-based cards for music or transportation or video chats, and Liu says the screen mostly exists so that you can verify the model's output on your own. Rather than build a bunch of APIs and try to convince developers to support the R1, though, Rabbit trained its model on how to use existing apps for itself. The large action model, or LAM, was trained by humans interacting with apps like Spotify and Uber, essentially showing them, the model, how they work. The LAM learned what a settings icon looked like, how to know when an order was confirmed, and where the search menus are. All that, Liu says, can be applied to any app, anywhere. The R1 also has a dedicated training mode which you can use to teach the device how to do something, and it will supposedly be able to repeat the action on its own going forward. Liu gives an example. Here's the example. You'll be like, hey, first of all, go to a software called Photoshop, open it, grab your photos here, make a lasso on the watermark, and click, click, click. This is how you remove watermark. It takes 30 seconds for Rabbit OS to process, Liu says, and then it can automatically remove all your watermarks going forward. That's very interesting. However, how all this actually works in practice, though, is the real question. So please let me know what you think in the comment section below. What do you think about the Rabbit R1? Do you think it's going to replace iPhones? Please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the subscribe button. Please hit that subscribe button. The goal this year is 10,000 subs. I know you're going to help me reach there. Please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the notification bell. I appreciate your viewership and see you on the next video.